What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to episode 82 of the U.S.S. Enterprise D tutorial. I'm Zerly, and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me and supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. Also, don't forget to join my Discord channel. I have a link in the description below. As we get closer to being done with the Enterprise D, I'm going to be doing a poll on the Discord for what the next build's going to be after Voyager. So be sure to join the Discord and yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in Discord. It'd be a great way to get in touch with the rest of the community on Minecraft as well regarding shipbuilding. So this will be really cool. Anyway, we're going to jump right into today's episode. We've only got about a 22-minute episode, a little bit shorter than Mondays. But we're going to be picking up where we left off, working on engineering, and we're going to be working on the main warp core right now. Now, in a perfect world, I would have had this centerpiece here gray, but the gray half slabs that I have available to me, they don't look as good as the white concrete. This was something I messed with off camera, and it just didn't really come out the way that I wanted it to. And this is going to go right into my number one gripe with Minecraft: full spectrum of colored half slabs. I don't understand why that's not in the game right now, and it needs to be. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of leave it at that because I don't want to go into a super long rant about why they don't have half slabs in a full color range on this game. But no, we're going to go back to what I said that we were going to do. We're going to make these tubes on each side of the warp core rather than going at an angle, which is canon, to going at a straight line, just because they're going to look better. And it just, with the build that we have to work with, I think that this flows better within a straight line. It's not exactly canon, but you know what, that's okay. You know, again, sometimes you have to make certain tweaks here and there to make it work within Minecraft, and that's all we're doing right now. I think that definitely looks a lot better than what we had before. Definitely flows a lot better. I could have done this from the inside, but it is what it is. That actual wall right there, we're going to be moving that in by 1 or 2 blocks when we add in the hallways that are going to be on each side of engineering, so we can get to the back of the ship. But right now we're just going to be getting some light detailing done to try to flesh out a little bit more of this area so we can see what all is missing. Now this was kind of cool, because I was thinking that you're probably wondering, why are you going down 1 block and adding in glass on the walls and the underside? And I just kind of decided, like, well, you know what, it would be kind of cool to be able to walk up to that line there and be able to look down through the glass and see this lower level here of the warp core, which you really can't see all that well right now. Yeah, see, now when you walk up and you look down, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Now, the only thing that would be better right here is if this top row right here, if we maybe replace that white concrete with half slabs, it'll be just a little bit better. But now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build a wall going around the glass. But there's going to have to be a 1 block gap. Can't have the white concrete going right up on the glass, otherwise you won't be able to see it. Alright, that looks pretty good. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. Alright, so far so good. Let's walk in there and take a look. Yes, that looks pretty good. Doesn't look bad at all. Except for this this top row right here. If we maybe made that half slabs, we'd be able to see just a little bit better down there. But I don't think I make that change. That was just something that I just thought of recently. Now what I'm going to be doing is the floor in here in the center. I'm going to be closing that up with glass. Now on the show, there's railing here, so there's something to stop you from walking into the gap. But then I was, between episodes, I was thinking, as you can see, the railing's gone now. I hate the railing that they have in the game. I wish that they had better railing, different types of material for railing, because that wood railing, it just doesn't mesh well at all with this type of build. As you can see, I'm trying to keep some of the cuts open here so you can still look down, but just kind of block you from being able to walk up and fall. Now, a great accent color for engineering is yellow. Gives you sign of warning or danger that you're going into an area that you need to be aware of your surroundings. And I think that the warp core would definitely fall into that category 100%. Yes, that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, we're just going to go along the whole outline here and do row half slabs. See how that looks. Might have to make an adjustment, but it may work out. Yeah, that's definitely looking a little bit better. But now on the outside here, well, in engineering, that row of half slabs is messing with me because it's not matching the rest of the cut line, so I might end up doing some rows of half slabs there. And we need to throw in some more sea lanterns, kind of brighten it up in here just a little bit. Now that doesn't look bad, but the only problem that we're going to have with doing the cut line slant with the half slabs is that it's going to differentiate between the quartz and the white terracotta, which I'm not overly fond of. So what we'd have to do is cover up that row on either side. And now we're going to do the same thing on the left side and just bring that all the way back. So that doesn't look terrible. And then we do like a light gray concrete block in between to kind of just add in just a little bit more color and see how that looks. And this is again before opening up the ceiling. I'm trying to remember exactly when I made this change, but it was the other thing too is that I was trying to think about, okay, what can I do that will fill in some of these decks, and that was just the most logical thing, that extending engineering to a couple of decks, because you got to understand that when you're building these ships is that there's just so much of the interior that they don't show, and I'm not one of those people that I like just to have the same room to room as you're going along the ship. I like having variety, you know, so it doesn't feel like just a bunch of repeats. But there's a challenge in that, in trying to figure out not only what to build, but how to build something that's gonna feel true to what the overall feeling is of the ship. And I think no matter what I do here with this ceiling is that it's just what I have going on with the very top of this room is that it just doesn't feel very the room doesn't feel very big. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna kind of make like a gray bracket going along this tubing for the warp core on each side to kind of make it feel like it's fastened into the wall, so we get some color detailing in there. So that looks pretty good. I thought about bringing it out by one, which we could do. Alright, it's not looking too bad. Still need to make some changes in the roof. We also have to figure out that flooring there in the dead center, but so far we're not looking too bad. And I think what I want to do in the very back wall here is I just want to bring that back by one more. So this way that secondary warp tube, or whatever the heck that is, isn't just bleeding into the wall. That feels like it's still a separate piece. We want to clean that up on the outside as much as we can, because we're flushing out the other decks. We're either going to be closing off that area or incorporating those walls into other sections of the ship. So we want to make sure that that's as clean as possible. Looking pretty good so far. Doesn't feel like it, but we've gotten a considerable amount of work done on this area of the ship. Definitely looking like engineering, but there's still more work that needs to be done before it's going to be considered done. Now we're going to use that grid pixel pack to get in our consoles here, to liven up the area a little bit. It looks pretty good. Aside from the girth of this main walkway right here, we got to widen that up, but this room is definitely starting to come together. Main thing you have to ask yourself is, does this feel like engineering? Feels like engineering that you've done your job. Doesn't feel like engineering that you might need to make some changes to it. And it definitely is starting to feel like engineering, but it needs some tweaking, you know? So what we're doing now is we're hiding our lighting right above our half slabs here. So this way we can still have these areas lit, but you won't even notice that there's actual lighting there. This is where illuminated blocks and a full color spectrum would come into play, with full blocks and half slabs. Like I'm telling you, like if they had that with the full blocks, half slabs, and full color spectrum illuminated, and then just a full color spectrum of half slabs, the stuff that you can build on Minecraft it would be pretty impressive if I could say so. And I don't get why they haven't done that yet in this game. Well, I do get it, and it's gonna sound messed up, but it's true. Since Mojang got bought out by Microsoft, the only thing that they care about are these little paid DLCs now for the kids to buy, and that's going to sound like I'm salty because at the same time they have put out a considerable amount of content updates for free, like the new Cave and Maps update, which all honestly I'll never see it just because of the save file that I'm using is like 10 years old. But the point is that they're still updating the game, so hopefully they'll get around to it. But I'm hoping sooner rather than later. I'm hoping I'm not 50 by the time that something like that comes around. So you can see on either side of our turbo lift, you might notice eagle-eyed people that I cut out the walls here on either side, and that's because we're going to be starting to plot out our walkway, the U walkway that I was telling you guys about. I think that was one of the few things that I did off camera. I was just messing around, and I'm actually surprised I didn't get it on camera because I could have sworn that I did. But yeah, we're just going to be deleting the wall on either side here and making a new walkway. I'll make sure that we're not deleting our deflector dish here, except for the access. The access can go. Some of this we can get rid of. So just do it gingerly. Take your time. Take your time. You won't make any mistakes. And if you do, you can easily fix it. Yeah, so now when we come in future episodes, we'll have our cutouts so that way we can extend out our actual walkway itself. But engineering's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the progress that we're making so far on this thing. It's definitely starting to come together. But I think that's going to wrap us up today. I just want to thank you again for tuning in today's episode. And if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me in supporting the channel, especially as we're on our journey to 1,000 subscribers. Trying to hit 1,000, and we can this way I'll be able to put out my U.S.S. Enterprise A tutorial from the Star Trek Beyond movie. That was one of my number one requested builds, but I'm trying to save that until we hit 1,000. So once that happens, you can guarantee that that will happen on the channel. So I'm really looking forward to that. Also, don't forget to join my Discord channel because going forward, I'm going to be doing polls on my channel as far as what the next builds are going to be. So definitely keep an eye open for that. Now you can still comment your suggestions on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to be taking those suggestions. I'm going to be using those suggestions to create polls. So be sure to join the Discord. I'll have a link in the description below. And also, don't forget you can catch my new Minecraft episodes dropping Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for me. I just want to thank you again for tuning in today's episode. And I hope everybody has a happy and safe week. And I'll catch you on the next episode.